In this video, we're going to take a look at 3 Khan Academy assignments related to slope-intercept form. So we'll start with slope-intercept intro. This first problem says, what is the slope of y equals -1 plus 3x? Well, let's rearrange this equation in slope-intercept form, where that begins with the x term. So y equals 3x minus 1. I just switched these around to make it match slope-intercept form, which, just to remind you, is y equals mx plus b, some number times x, plus or minus a number, where m is the slope. The number in front of x will always be the slope, and this will be the y-intercept. So in this equation up here, y equals 3x minus 1, the y-intercept is -1, the slope is +3. So we'll put that in. Next up, complete the equation of the line whose slope is -2 and y-intercept is 0, -8. So y equals mx plus b, m is the slope, so we'll put in -2 in that slot, and the y-intercept is -8, so we're going to subtract 8. So for slope-intercept intro, again, you're not really doing any computations, calculations, you're not solving anything, you're just showing that you understand this template called slope-intercept form. So understanding where the slope goes and where the y-intercept goes in this type of equation. What is the y-intercept of y equals -3 minus 7x? Again, they're trying to kind of trick us by shifting it around. Let's rewrite it in the way we're used to seeing it. So y equals -7x minus 3. And now we know that this is the y-intercept slot. So the y-intercept is going to be a point that has -3 as the y-coordinate and is right on the y-axis, so the x-coordinate is 0. So 0, -3. Final question, what is the y-intercept of y equals 4x? Alright, so right here we have nothing in the b slot, right? Y equals 4x, there's no plus or minus after this. But if we had to put something in, we could put plus or minus 0. So if there's no number after the x term, it means that the line goes through the origin. The y-intercept is going to be 0, 0. Alright, next up, we're going to do graph from slope-intercept form. So on these problems, you're given an equation in slope-intercept form and you have to graph it. And the way you want to do that is start with the y-intercept. So the y-intercept here is -7, which means this line crosses the coordinate plane, crosses the y-axis rather, at 0, -7. Now the slope is 4 over 5. And remember that slope means the rise of the line over the run of the line. How much it goes up and down over how much it goes over to the right. So here the rise is 4 and the run is 5, meaning it goes up 4 over 5. So from this point that we've already established, the y-intercept 0, -7, we're going to go up 4 to -3 and over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Next one, y equals -3 over 2x minus 3. So we'll start at the y-intercept, -3, and then the slope is -3 over 2. So the rise is -3, we're going to go down 3, and the run is +2, so we'll go over 2, again, from this point. So from this y-intercept, we'll go down 3 to -6 and over 2 to +2. Y equals -2x plus 5. Well, there's our y-intercept, +5. And now, one thing to note for slopes is that when the coefficient of x is an integer, you can wake up the phantom 1 that's underneath it. So if you see an equation y equals 3x plus 5, you can rewrite it as y equals 3 over 1x plus 5. And the reason that's useful is it could help you with graphing. So here when y equals negative 2x plus 5, negative 2 is the same as negative 2 over 1, right? So that reminds us that the rise here is negative 2. It goes up 2. Sorry, the rise is negative 2, so it goes down 2. And the run is positive 1, so it goes over 1. So down 2 over 1 will produce that line. Alright, one more. Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 8. Go to positive 8. Go down 4 over 3. Next up, the slope-intercept equation from graph. So we're asked to find the equation of the line. It says use exact numbers. So here we're going to do the opposite of what we did on the previous one. We're going to start at the y-intercept and fill it in. And then we're going to have to find the slope. And to do that, you need to find where the line crosses on two crosshairs. So I'm just putting dots to show you an example of what I mean by crosshairs. So let's find where this line hits some crosshairs. Well, here's one. You can always use the y-intercept as one of your points. And then here's another one. So let's draw that triangle out. And our rise is 2, it's going up 2. Our run is 3, it's going over 3. So the slope is 2/3. And the equation of a line is y equals 2/3 x plus 4. Next one, we have our y-intercept of negative 5. And then we'll get 2 points. Here's a point. Here's one right next to it. But I'll show you, what if you picked one that's further away, like this one right here? That's fine. As long as you pick two that are on the crosshairs, it'll work. So this one's going up 4, over 4. So the rise over the run is 4 over 4. You can simplify that to 1 over 1 or just 1. Next up, same thing. Get your y-intercept, put that in the y-intercept slot. Now we got to find our slope. Our slope, we have to get a point on the crosshair, make a triangle, find the rise, 3, find the run, 4. The slope is 3 over 4. Final one, let's get our y-intercept, positive 3. Let's find another point on a crosshair. There's one right there. Make our triangle, find our slope. The rise is 3, it's going up 3, it's going 1 to the right, so 3 over 1 x plus 3. It says you're almost there, your answer is almost correct, but it needs to be simplified. So they don't want you to put this 1 on the bottom. They want you to just write it as 3x plus 3. And that's how you do slope-intercept form on Khan Academy.